She stood in the doorway of my garage like a storm ready to break. Chloe, my girlfriend of 2 years, with that familiar glint in her eyes that always meant trouble. Behind her, Tiffany and Jessica, her friends, were dressed to the nines for the concert downtown. I'd told Chloe weeks ago I wouldn't make it. The Charger restoration wasn't just work. It was everything. My pride, my livelihood, the heartbeat of my passion. I wiped grease off my hands and met her gaze, steady but tired. Chloe, I told you. I can't leave now. The engine timing is at a critical stage. If I stop, I lose days, maybe weeks. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and keep watching, because the best part's coming up next. Her smile was tight, almost forced, like she was holding back something darker. Mark, we need a ride. The opening act is in an hour. I felt the knot tighten in my chest, the ache of being torn between my world and hers. I never promised I'd drive you. You and your friends can figure it out. Tiffany jumped in with that irritating smirk that made my skin crawl. We don't want to deal with parking downtown. You have the truck. It's easier for you to drive us. The entitlement in her voice hit me like a slap. They wanted me to drop everything, my life, my work, my dream, and play chauffeur so they could avoid a little inconvenience. The idea that my passion was secondary made something inside me snap. No, I said, voice calm but firm. I'm sorry, but I can't. That's when Chloe's smile disappeared. She pulled out her phone like a weapon, her eyes cold and sharp. Fine. I'll just call Alex. Alex, her ex. The polished, effortless contrast to my grease-stained hands and busted-up truck. The guy she swore was ancient history, but pulled out whenever she needed leverage. Her words landed like a punch. If you don't drive us, I'll just go with him. I stared at her, silence stretching between us like a chasm. Then I reached into my pocket, pulled out the spare key to my old Honda Accord, an ugly, beat-up car that was my last resort, and tossed it to her. Have fun, I said softly, turning back to my work. She caught the key, confused. The Honda? It's your ride. Her friends exchanged looks. Chloe's face tightened in frustration, but she didn't argue. They left, and behind them, the rusty old engine coughed to life. What they didn't know was that the Honda was rigged. Years ago, I installed a GPS tracker and a remote kill switch, an emergency brake I could pull if things got dangerous. I'd warned Chloe about the car's quirks, about the clogged fuel filter that could cause the engine light to flash, and stall the car if pushed too hard. She always waved me off, like I was speaking a foreign language. I went back to the Charger, but my mind kept drifting to them. After about an hour, I pulled out my phone and opened the tracking app. The Honda wasn't at the concert, it was parked halfway there, near a bar district. Then a text from Chloe. Alex flaked. He's not answering. We're figuring it out. Her threat had been empty, just like I'd suspected all along. They stayed at the bar for over an hour. I watched the little dot on my screen, still and silent. Finally, they got back on the highway. I watched the dot crawl along. Then, when they were in the busiest, most dangerous stretch, I tapped the kill switch on my phone. The engine died. My phone buzzed. A frantic message from Chloe. The car died. It won't start. I waited a few minutes before replying. Did the check engine light flash? Yes, for 10 minutes. I texted back. You pushed it too hard. You ignored my warnings. She called, but I didn't answer. More texts flooded in. This is your fault. We're stranded. Tiffany's dad is coming. I stayed silent. Later, I received an official message from the State Patrol. My car had been towed for being an abandoned traffic hazard. Chloe called again, voice frantic and desperate, demanding I pay the $300 tow fee. I was calm, icy even. No, you were driving. You ignored everything I told you. The silence on the other end was telling. The days that followed were brutal. Chloe's calls became relentless. Rage, tears, blame. Tiffany sent me venomous texts, accusing me of being controlling and selfish. I responded with only one thing, a screenshot of my warning about the check engine light. Then I blocked her. Like what you see? Click like, hit subscribe, and stay tuned. Let's keep going. Chloe hadn't just lost a ride that night. She lost the foundation of trust between us. When she finally showed up at our apartment, furious and desperate, I was ready. "You did this on purpose," she yelled, her voice cracking with anger and hurt. "I warned you." "You chose to ignore me," I said, calm and unshaken. "You owe me the tow fee. I need that car for work." "No, it's my car. You can find another way." Her anger crumbled into panic, and I saw it. The fear that the game she played had finally ended. That night, after she had retreated to the bedroom and stopped responding, I found the damning proof. The message thread with Tiffany. They had planned this all along, mocking me, laughing at my kindness, using my love as a stepping stone to their own fun. I packed her things while she slept, sealed the boxes with quiet precision, and withdrew most of the money from our joint savings, leaving her with barely anything. When she woke and saw the boxes, her face went pale. "This is over, Chloe," I told her quietly. "You can call your parents or Alex for a ride now." She stood silent. The truth finally laid bare. 3 months later, Chloe was gone. Her father came by the garage, his voice low and tired. "Mark," he said quietly, "did you know she maxed out the emergency credit card? Over $4,000 in 2 months." I shook my head. "No, sir. I didn't know, but I'm not surprised." He sighed, running a hand through his hair. "She's always expected the world without doing the work. I'd hoped you would be a steadying influence." "I tried," I said. "But you can't be anyone's partner when they treat you as a stepping stone." He helped load her things into his car. Before he left, he shook my hand. "I'm sorry, Mark." Chloe didn't say anything. She just climbed in and left. Once she was gone, the subtle smear campaign began. Chloe and Tiffany posted vague, dramatic messages about controlling men and toxic relationships. Some mutual friends reached out to me with anger and confusion. But I didn't respond. I focused on what mattered. My work, my life, my sanity. The Honda stayed in impound for another week. Chloe begged me to retrieve it, claiming I was responsible since it was my car. I agreed, paid nearly $800 in fees, had it towed back to my shop, cleaned it up, replaced the clogged filter, flushed the fuel system, and gave it a full tune-up. It still looked like an old beater, but it ran flawlessly. A couple of weeks ago, I took it out for a drive along the coast. The engine purred beneath me, the windows down, the ocean breeze cool on my skin. No calls, no demands, just the open road and the steady hum of a car that, unlike some people, was reliable. For the first time in a long time, I felt free. Honestly, this story really hits hard because it shows how sometimes love can get tangled up with control and disrespect. It's tough when someone you care about uses your kindness against you. But standing firm for your own boundaries is so important. Mark's choice wasn't just about a car. It was about valuing himself and not letting others take advantage. It's a reminder that relationships should be built on trust and mutual respect, not manipulation or entitlement. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more real-life dramas and honest reflections. And I'd love to hear what you think.